Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. This Wednesday evening, we will be reading from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. So let us begin with this mantra. Tabo kathamritam tapta jivanam kavi ritam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadatatam bhubi grinanti e bhurida janaha. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he was talking with the devotees. We are continuing the same chapter the Master Maharshi mentioned as Master's Training to His Disciple. It is English page 896 and Bengali 970. One should be satisfied with what comes unsought. So that is the highlight of this today's discussion. The Master Maharshi and all others, they were sitting there. It was the Tuesday, October 27, 1885. Sri Ramakrishna was seated in his room at the Dakshineshwar now. Narendra and other devotees were with him. The Master was conversing with them. It was about 10 o'clock in the morning. Narendra, how strangely the doctor behaved yesterday. A devotee, yes. A devotee means Master Maharshi, the recorder of this. So he sometimes mentioned himself as a devotee, sometimes as aim, most of the time aim, like that. So Master Maharshi said, yes, the fish swallowed the hook, but the line broke. Sri Ramakrishna, smiling, but the hook is in his mouth. It will die and float on the water. So they were talking about the doctor, and the doctor, he was not believing God in that way, and very argumentative, and he thought that from the scientific view, we should try to understand God. But the problem is, science can give us all those results that we can get with our sense organs. Maybe we can intensify those with the help of the machines. Nowadays, as we do, we can sit over here and can see the every details of the moon. That is with the help of the machine, but it is all that we see. So Pancha, that Gyanindriya, Pancha Gyanindriya that is there, with the help of that we can. But the spirituality, God, it is the inner feeling. There you cannot utilize these instruments. What you can do, the 2-3 things that always they say, the pramana as they call, the pramana, mainly the one of the pramanas is very important, is the Shabda pramana. There was the Shabda pramana. Those who have already realized God, when they say something, we must believe that. That's called Shabda pramana or Shastra pramana. So this is, but he is not ready to accept that. He wants to see God as we see the other things through our sense organs. So he was arguing, but slowly he is coming down and accepting, and he could understand that what actually religion means. So when he is talking with Sri Ramakrishna, touching his holy person and all that, naturally it is changing. So they were discussing about him, and the Narendra, as a young man, naturally, he didn't like the way he was talking. But the Master Maharshi said he has already accepted the bet. And now that Sri Ramakrishna said, though the line has broken, but it is with him, and he will come back again. The Master, Narendra went out for a few minutes. Sri Ramakrishna was talking to him about Purna. So we know now that there are devotees who used to come, particularly the young boys, who used to come to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna was very much careful about them. So if he could see that some the qualities are there other spiritual qualities. He used to help them to manifest that. Purna was one of them, a blessed one, I must say. That Sri Ramakrishna noticed that spiritual qualities were there. What are the spiritual qualities? There's a faith in the existence of God and simplicity, truthfulness, and all these good, wonderful qualities. So Sri Ramakrishna noticed that it is present in Purna. He wanted to help him. So he was inquiring about Purna. And Master Mahashaya, as he was the teacher, he knew all the students. So he used to inquire from the Master Mahashaya, and Master Mahashaya told about him. The Master smiling, the Sri Ramakrishna, when he was talking, Master Mahashaya said, God sports in various ways. Even this illness of yours is one of his sports. Because you are ill, new devotees are coming to you. The Master Mahashaya, naturally, he could understand many things. So he could understand that Sri Ramakrishna is not very much serious about his illness. The physical illness, it is there, but because of that, he has come to Calcutta and he stayed over there. And it became very easy for the people to come and to see him, talk to him. Some, they were curious, what is happening over there? Why so many people are going there? So naturally, among the devotees, among the people, they all, in those days, there was no, what's called, using the social media. Nowadays, they immediately text, I'm going over there, can you come? That was not there. But you know that by year, the people, they will be talking about the master, and that will reach to so many, some curiosity, some out of the devotion, all they will come. New people are coming to Sri Ramakrishna. And this is the wonderful ideology. When they come, when they see, when they meet, when they hear, slowly, different thought comes. The human mind, this is a unique thing. As always, I feel that we are standing on the threshold of the heaven and hell. We can choose heaven, we can also go down to hell. It is our choice. But mainly it depends on our development, mental development, how it is. When we go on hearing the positive thoughts, the people who are really good, when they come and talk, when we listen to them, we feel it is correct, that's true. So I should also follow that. But if negative things goes on, we feel negative. It's very difficult to develop one's own thought because the influence it comes. You will notice in the society one type of thought that takes away everyone. One type of the thought will come, and that is nowadays all over the world. The one thought comes, and immediately because of the media, and we are so close, we all are influenced by that particular thought. So obviously it was there, so-called Sadhu Sangha. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is the God himself. He has come to establish the Dharma. And what is the Dharma? The righteousness, to remind a human being that he is not born only for food and little bit of the physical comfort. No, he has not born for that. He has another goal to achieve. And that goal is the ultimate happiness, which sometimes terms as bliss. So that is the goal. And one should achieve that. And how to achieve that? The traditional way, the way that the Veda discovered. Sri Ramakrishna, he himself practiced in his own life, and now he is teaching. And people cannot say, sir, you were only telling us, but you never practiced it. No, they saw it. Before their eyes, he practiced. And now he is telling them. So he is coming, and the Master Mahashaya noticed it, and he is happy that many people are coming. And the Sri Ramakrishna smiling. Bhupati said, Bhupati, there is another young man, he says, What would people have thought of if you had just rented a house to live without being ill? These young people, they don't understand. And they're very simple type. They're saying, suppose Ramakrishna rented a house in Calcutta and living over there. So the people would have said, oh my God, look at him. They were very poor. Obviously, rich people were there. And we should not forget that that is the time after almost the 700 years of the ruling of the sultanates, and then the Britishers, they were the rulers. So naturally, the original things they were almost losing that time. The people they used to think that the holy people must live very humble life. Now, if Sri Ramakrishna rented a house and living over there and then claiming that he is a holy person, it would have been very difficult. Even today, the people don't like to accept it, but slowly, slowly, they are understanding it. Of course, the poverty, chastity, purity, these are the main qualities of a holy person, but it doesn't mean that you have to be very poor in that way and living on. That is another way, but in the organizational life, different. Sri Ramakrishna has come to develop these particular thought. So he is living as a householder. At the same time, he is the creator of the sannyasins. So this is the avatar. He is helping the householders, he is helping those who are the renouncers. So these two groups he is bringing together so that they can fight against the Kali Yuga. The Yuga, this is the time, it has an influence. And its influence is this, all falsehood. All falsehood. People, they laugh when their people, the other people are telling them the untruth. Oh, look at him, so smart. And he has acquired so much of money. Appreciating. Think of it. Why? The Yuga. Yuga is like that. But you have to save yourself. When the troubles, very strong current is flowing, you have to swim against that current. And you need a master, you need a teacher to guide you, help you. And this is Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, what he is trying to do. Then he is telling, Bhupati says like that. Then aim. As regards God, he accepts for himself the attitude of a servant. Again, about the doctor he is mentioning. So, well, what has happened to the doctor? Sri Ramakrishna wanted to know from Master Mahasaya. And Master Mahasaya says, as regards God, he accepts himself the attitude of a servant. But then he says, why art the master servant? But then he asks me, why do you apply the idea of God to a man? So this is the confusion they always make. You know, in Hinduism, I have also noticed even today that the people, they hear about many things. And you know, Hinduism, there are different approaches. One is Advaita, another Vishishta Advaita, another is Dvaita. So obviously, and they mix up. There are so many terminologies. They mix up and then they say, oh, now suppose you talk about the yoga. The yogis, they say, the Ashtanga yoga, that is the traditional way, and the Ashtanga, the 8 steps, Ashta means 8, Anga, the steps, and that they mix up with the Jnana Marga. The Jnana Marga has nothing to do with that. So this is little confusion the people have, because so many things are going on. They listen to so many people and so many terminologies, so they don't understand. So this is the one type of confusion. Here also we find that that doctor, he mentioned that my attitude as a servant. What is the servant attitude? are like our Mahavir ji. He is having all qualities, but he is humble. He says, it is because of my master. I don't know anything. He did everything. He is full of knowledge and physical strength and also yogic capacity. He himself did all that in the whole of Ramayana so much. Even then he said, no, I am the servant of my master, whatever I have done because of his blessings, and unless he says I won't do anything. This needs complete self-surrender at the feet of the master, at the teacher or the God, and naturally you have to be completely free from ego. If you have the ego, you will love to hear your own appreciation. And anything that you have done, even if they say because of your gods, because of your guru's blessings you have been successful, that man won't be happy. Guru directed, but I have done. He'll say, Guru said that, but I have done it. Because of the ego. But when you look at the Mahavir ji, Mahavir Hanuman ji, in the Ramayana, he never did. So that was the attitude. But though he said that I am having the attitude of a servant towards God, I am the servant, God is my master. But the doctor, he could not understand that properly. So he said to the master Mahashaya, he said, why you are putting the man, that means Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, as God, you should not do that. So naturally that was a confusion. Master, just see, are you going to him today? Sri Ramakrishna, though he was mentioning like that, he is not very much serious about it. He knew that slowly he would understand. He's a great teacher. That's why Master Maharaj told masters training to his disciples. The different type of people are coming, and Sri Ramakrishna, he is giving them the training in a many different ways. So he is a unique teacher. So Sri Ramakrishna knew that it will take some time for the doctor to understand because he is full of ego. Someone told that something, he never could forget that. And now he is telling, I am the servant of God. So actually, it was not true approach. So his ego was completely there. But Sri Ramakrishna is not worried about that because he knew by heart he is a nice person. So slowly he will understand. And the moment he understands, it will be all right for him. So Master Maharshi said, I shall see him if it is necessary to report your condition. But they are not very much, the other devotees are not very much happy with the doctor. Because he used to criticize Sri Ramakrishna, his, as they call, acoustics. His words, they were very much the way he used to speak about Sri Ramakrishna. The devotees never liked it. So they perhaps, when the Master Moshe is not interested. But he said, I can go if it is necessary to report about you. Then the master said, how do you find this boy, Bunkim? About another boy he is asking. First he was inquiring about the Purna. The Purna had an attitude, a completely different. It was the attitude of a Radha, as Sri Ramakrishna mentioned. But he said, be very careful about this, because people won't understand. They are completely dedicated. Their approach is completely different. And now he is inquiring about another young man, Bankim. It is not that famous Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, another person. If he cannot come here, you may give him instruction. That will awaken his spiritual consciousness. Friends, this is a very important line. Why? Because Sri Ramakrishna is empowering Master Mahashaya to give the spiritual enlightenment. He prayed, those who have read the biography of Sri Ramakrishna, you know that Sri Ramakrishna in one time he was praying to the Divine Mother. Mother, it is not possible for me alone to do it. You give some power to the Master Mahashaya. And after the conversation and the argument with the Divine Mother, then suddenly he said, oh, 1 anna will be sufficient? Okay, if you think so. So look at that. So that means 1 anna means 16 anna, 1 rupee. That was the calculation in those days. So we can say 100%. So 1 anna means 25%. So, or maybe so, I don't know. That is, if it is like that, oh, that will be sufficient for him. Okay. If you are not giving, if the God, the Mother, the Supreme, not giving that power to a person, his instruction, his words will never work. That is the main thing. Many people can give instruction, but that effect will be completely opposite. People won't accept it. Sometimes they will take that and then afterwards they will find there's no growth, so they will leave it. It is the necessity for the God to give. All cannot become guru. Those only is getting that empowerment. So this is very, very important. Master Mahashaya was a householder, but Sri Ramakrishna prayed for him and the Divine Mother gave that power. Now Sri Ramakrishna recognizing, and here very clearly is mentioning that will awaken his spiritual consciousness. Awaken his spiritual consciousness by the instruction of the Master Mahashaya. This is a great sentence. So obviously the Sri Ramakrishna empowered him, and Master Mahashaya also did that. In the beginning, when no one was knowing about the Ramakrishna mission, nothing was there, only a handful of direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, they were struggling to somehow survive. Forget about the missionary work. They wanted to survive. At that time, struggle was going on. No money, no food, no house, no clothing. So what did that time? That was a really, really very austere days. It was Master Mahashaya who stood by their side, and he used to help them as maximum as possible. But he was a only ordinary teacher, though he was the headmaster, but his salary was very, very humble. So naturally, how he could help? He was having a family also. But anyway, he tried his best to help. Now this Narendra entered the room and sat near Sri Ramakrishna. Since the death of his father, he had been very much worried about the family's financial condition. He now had to support his mother and brothers. Besides, he was preparing himself for his law examination. Lately, he had served as a teacher in the Vidyasagar school at Bowbajar. He wanted to make some arrangement for his family and thus get rid of all his worries. Sri Ramakrishna knew all this. He looked affectionately at Narendra. Now this is another the scenario that we can see, as because we know the afterwards what happened. So naturally when we are reading this, so we know the result, we know what happened afterwards, we are not worried. But forget about what we know. Afterwards what happened. Just at that moment, a very young man, very, very talented, very good looking, excellent personality, he was not getting a job. And when somehow he got a job as a teacher in Vidyasagar school, other teachers, they never wanted him to be there because he became very popular among the students. Still that school is there in Calcutta. And it was the school run by Vidyasagar Mahashaya. And Vidyasagar's son-in-law, he asked him to go out because of the complaint by the other teachers. Why they were complaining? Because he was very famous. He became very popular. And he naturally, his depth of knowledge And other teachers, they were thinking, oh, what will happen to us? And now he will be, one day become the headmaster like that. Can you imagine? In Calcutta, in one corner, one school, and the headmaster of that, what is there? But even then, that was a great position, great thing. People were vying for that, and they complained falsely. And man like Vidyasagar, without properly inquiring, without talking to Narendranath, he asked him to quit, go out. He fired him. Now, this happens in many life. And what happens? Then we immediately, we think, oh, what will happen to us? We are going to die. And sometimes people, they inquire and they ask, Swamiji, how we should behave with our the colleagues. In the office, they are behaving in this way. Look at it. Vivekananda's colleagues, how they behaved with him. This goes on. This is the society, and this is the world. In family, in society, this type of people are always there, who will always be jealous. Very few are there which is real friends. Among your relatives also, if you are successful, they may feel jealous. So this is the life, it always happens. And Sri Ramakrishna, knowing all this, but he knew what is going to happen to Narendra. But now he is showing a little affection to him. But he is indicating one thing. Sri Ramakrishna to him. We can imagine that Narendranath has come and he is sitting close to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna looking at him, and he knew that what is going on in his mind, that he has lost the job, but he badly needs some money to support his family, his mother, brother, and sisters. And instead of talking to him, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, well, I said to Keshav, one should be satisfied with what comes unsought. One should be satisfied with what comes unsought. This is a spiritual training. Now, in the Bhagavad Gita also, if we see, in the 4th chapter, 22nd verse, it says, Yadricha lava santushto. Yadricha lava, if you translate it in English, one should be satisfied with what comes unsought. Yadricha, whatever has come, I didn't want it, but it has come to me. In the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna, he also is mentioning, and that is the Jnana Yoga. The chapter is the Jnana Yoga. In the Jnana Yoga, he is mentioning what is the Jnana, how a Jnani should behave. Yadricha lava santushta, one. Danda tita, bimatsaraha, sama siddha asiddho cha. So these are the 5 things, kritvapina nibaddhate. The 4 qualities that is mentioning first. Yadricha lava santushta. What is the yadricha lava santushta? Content with what comes to without effort. Without effort, sometimes something comes. Now, we are trying to do something, we are thinking that we should become like this, we should become like that. But then afterwards we find, no, it is not successful, and we think, oh, what will happen to us? Now, when we grew up, just remember those days, there's an anxiety whether I'm going to get a job or not, what will happen to me, the friends are there, someone suddenly came and told, hey, I like to give you a party because I've got a job. After the success in that in the college life and the university, there's some people, they're going out in the foreign to study. So all these slowly happening. And you are thinking, what will happen to me? Anxiety is there. Though you are smiling, greeting, and then you are saying, oh, goodbye to your friend, but at the same time, anxiety is there. Why? We don't know the future. But if you have faith on God, then there will be no problem. You are trying your best, And then whatever you know, you are developing that particular quality so that you become a master on that. And you know that I know this particular job, this particular trade, the best way. I am going to get someday some job somewhere. So that confidence is there, but it is really, really rare confidence. Even including a personality like Narendranath, who became afterwards Swami Vivekananda, he also sometimes he lost his faith. One day, Narendranath was naturally he was a devotee. When he was singing a song praising God in the early morning, he got up and then he was singing, almost musing. His mother, she heard that his son is singing in that way and came and rebuked. Stop that singing. Don't praise God. Where is God? We are not getting food. Narendra's mother. So that when we are not having the food, clothing, shelter, we do not know money, then obviously we lose all faith. It's really, really challenging. Anyone can say it. Yadricha lava santushta. Bhagavan Krishna said, Thakur Sri Ramakrishna Dev is saying, but those who pass through that is really very difficult. Now, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is indicating why when you are in this challenge, have faith in the God and then wait. Something better will come for you. Sure. That happened to Sri Ram, there's Narendranath. You know that one rich man, in those days, naturally, it always happened in the society, he was provoking Narendra. Well, Narendra, I have a lot of money. I can give you, but the condition you have to marry my daughter. He was a very good looking young man. I will send you, he said, I will send you to London. You can study law over there and become a barrister and come back. But before going over there, you must marry my daughter, and then all these things will be. Think of it, the pressure. The mother, the brothers and sisters, they're hungry, no food. And whatever the money, they were so rich people. Narendra's father was very rich. And suddenly, he used to give all the money to his elder brother. His father used to give money to his elder brother, thinking he will, as because he was the eldest in the family, he will be taking care. But no, that man was completely different. The moment his father passed away, they took out all the money. Not only that, they wanted to grab that building also, the house also where they were staying. Narendra had to fight in the court. He had to go to the Calcutta High Court to prove, etc. All this. It is in his biography. But his teacher, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, was at his back and he was going on praying, praying and praying. And slowly, slowly, with all that, he had to prove that he has faith. That because of the faith, then everything changed. Where are those uncles? Nobody knows their name. If Vivekananda was not Vivekananda, who would be knowing their family? So that type of rich people, there were so many in that society. Because we know him, so this faith we have to stick to. But Narendra never lost faith on himself. He knew that wherever I go, I can do it. Any work I can do. He was best in many things. But at the same time, he was having some faith. But his faith was based on something else. So Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and slowly, slowly changed his mind and he said, you must accept the power of God. Yadricha lava santushta. I told it to, then he is mentioning to Keshav Chandra Sen. The Keshav was mentioning about something, he said that. The son of an aristocrat does not worry about the food and drink. He gets his monthly allowance. Narendra too belongs to a high plane. then why is he in such strange circumstances? The Sri Ramakrishna, he himself is raising this question, asking this question. God certainly provides everything for the man who totally surrenders himself to him. Now, friends, we have to believe these words of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. But to believe is really difficult, and we can believe. And believing and acting on that, when the challenge moments come, oh my God, it is so difficult to really stick to those things. Sri Ramakrishna has said that pray to God and God will save you. It needs 100% faith. You are my father, you are my mother, you have to save me. If we surrender in that way, then slowly, of course we have to try. Then someday some opportunity will, suddenly it will come and you will find that everything is solved. It happens. So that's why he is mentioning. And now, as because we have already raised this point, so what are the other qualities to become a jnani? The person who is working, but the result of his work won't come. So there are 4 qualities. First, jadricha labha santushta, content with what comes to without any effort. That is the first thing. Dandatita, unaffected by the pairs of opposite. Sometimes people praising, sometimes happiness, sometimes misery, all this. But he is not unaffected. He knows this goes on. I am happy. I like to sing songs I am singing, whether people are appreciating or not. It doesn't matter. I love song. I sing for God. So that is the way if one can sing. So this, the many times we have, the stories are there also. The Tanshen's guru. So Tanshen was a great musician. He was one of the 9 the jewels in the court of Akbar, the king. So in Indian history it is all there. His guru, he was a very famous singer. And when Akbar was praising Tanshen, Tanshen told, "Oh, it must go to my guru. Because of his training, I learned all this." Then naturally the king, curious, he wanted to listen to that. "Oh, I am very sorry. He won't sing before you. He sings only before God." See, that is a famous singer, but not singing to the king. The moment you are trying to please the king, you have the desire for money and other social status, etc. But when you are singing for God, only faith and love for God. So that is the story goes like that. Dandatita, bimatsaraha. He is not at all jealous. If a person is jealous, sometimes nowadays, that some videos are coming up. There's so-called the great personalities. They are criticizing another religious person. Why criticizing? That means you are jealous. What is that to you? You go in your own way. You have developed one way of faith and then you are teaching that. You have some followers. Why you have to compare with him? Because you are jealous. Bimatsaraha. And when it is there, that means you are not complete yet. If a person is having the jealousy, the envy, that means you are not complete. You have not realized God. The one who will realize God will never ever behave like that. One who is established in the path of the jnana will never behave like that. So yadrishta labha santushta, the content with what comes to without effort, danda atita, unaffected by the pairs of opposite, bimatsaraha, free from envy or jealousy, sama siddha asiddhaucha. He remains same in success and in failure. Kritva pina nibaddhate. Then that person's action, even though he is performing, no result will come to him. So, karma, about the karma the Lord Krishna was mentioning, if you are doing something naturally good or bad, result will come. But if you have these four qualities, even if you are doing it, no result will come. The kritvapi na nibaddhati. But we will take for this moment, as Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, that one should be satisfied with what comes unsought. And as you call, jadricha lava santushto. He is indicating the Narendra. Narendra, the Master Masha is also mentioning, and Narendra too in a high, so naturally he is supposed to get indication. Sri Ramakrishna is giving. The Master Masha, Narendra too will be provided for, and it is not yet too late for him. Master Masha, from his viewpoint, he is a young man, he will get a job, something he is thinking. But Sri Ramakrishna knew what is going to happen. So, this is called Rishi attitude, Sri Ramakrishna loved Narendra so much. And Sri Ramakrishna also, he knew what is going to happen. He knew that Narendra is not going to be a householder. He is not going to get a job and do. He is going to be the teacher of the whole world. All these things Sri Ramakrishna knew. But he is also behaving in such a way, he requested some of the rich people, can you please provide a job to Narendra? Narendra himself, Narendra was feeling ashamed. Oh, you need not to request like that for me, he was telling. That this is all drama. Now that we know the complete picture, after the end of the movie we know what happened. But in the beginning, so much of suspense. There was in the movie, somebody killed someone, and naturally the detectives came, they are asking, inquiring. Then I was asking someone, tell me actually who killed. So there's so much of patience, you have to go on sitting 3 hours to understand who actually killed. But they told, no, if we tell, then what you are going to watch? You have to sit and watch. Our life is like that only. We do not know what is going to happen to us. Sometimes some people are becoming very famous, and others are thinking, oh, look at him, he's so successful. Suddenly he fall in such a way that no one looks at him and he is gone. It goes on. Even in the present day world, you see, suddenly somebody is coming up and he's so famous, everybody is following, everybody is but suddenly he is nowhere. It's another person has come. This is the way the world goes. So shall we run for this? Shall you not learn that this is so much temporary? I know what is going to happen to me because God has given me something. I have to be satisfied with that. According to my past karma and the present day karma and my prayer and my austerity, all these things are going to give me something, and I should be confident about it. And whatever I get, I will be all right. The Master Masha, he was consoling the young man, Narendra. Oh, he is too young, he will get it. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning. But a man who feels intense renunciation within does not calculate that way. Now he is coming to he is hitting what Narendra should do. If you you are thinking to become a monk or a nun and accept the monastic life, no one calculates like that. A man who feels intense renunciation within does not calculate that way. He doesn't say to himself, I shall first make an arrangement for the family and then practice sadhana. No. He doesn't feel that way if he has developed intense dispassion. It happens like that. Those who are calculating, they can't become the monk. Even if they can't become truly a happy monk. Their life become a drudgery. They were thinking if we come to here, then the tension in the family, not getting a job and all those things will be over. But when they come over to, and particularly nowadays all different ashramas, they understand that they are unfit in that. That is again that problems is always there. So that is why he is telling no one can, but it depends on God. Whatever happens, I only like to take the name of God and like to be happy. When one jumps in that way, it becomes completely different. I shall first make an arrangement for the family and then practice sadhana. No, it is not like that. No, he doesn't feel that way if he has developed intense dispassion. A Goswami said in the course of his preaching, if a man has 10,000 rupees, in those days it was a huge sum, 10,000 rupees, he can maintain himself on the income and then, free from worries, he can pray on God. Keshav Sen also said something like that. He said to me, Sir, suppose a man wants, first of all, to make a suitable arrangement for his property and estate and then think of God, will it be all right for him to do so? Is there anything wrong about it? I said to him, when a man feels utter dispassion, he looks on the world as a deep well, and his relatives as venomous cobras. Then he cannot think of saving money or making arrangements about his property. God alone is real and all else illusory. To think of the world instead of God. Durbar samsara dabagni taptam. Shankaracharya, this as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, Shankaracharya in his Vivek Chudamani, the beautiful couplet is mentioning, Durbar samsara dabagni taptam. This samsara is like the wildfire. And people, all the animals and birds and all they're trying to save their life. They're all running. A human also trying to save. He's also running so that he can save himself. If one thinks the world in that way, then he can become a monk or a nun. Otherwise, it will be a fashionable thing. You know? There's most of them, they become a monk or nun. It's like a fashion. And then after spending some days, they cannot go. And moreover, some of the organization, they provide food and nice shelter, and they continue their life, not knowing exactly what actually they are doing, and rather they develop an ego, and they think that they are a monastic, they are better than other devotees. Another problem comes. And that's why a religion means a clear understanding what I want. It is God. Not that what the people will say about me. Sometimes people are crazy that they think that by giving the lecture they will save the whole world. They forget the nature of the world is completely different. Lord Buddha tried. Sri Krishna tried. What happened? Sri Krishna killed all those bad people. See, again those bad people. And there it's what to do. So that is why Swami Vivekananda, he said, this world is like a dog's curly tail. And that is the reason he has given a beautiful motto for the monastics of the Ramakrishna mission. Atmana moksha jagat hita. First you have to think about your own liberation, spiritual liberation. You have to observe your mind, your cravings, your desires, And when you are analyzing your own thoughts, you have to be very careful. Oh, this is the time I must try to improve. And whatever the loopholes are there, I must try to plug those. That is called sadhana. World will be like this only. You cannot change it. Sometimes when you're going and giving the lecture, people are appreciating, then they will again forget you totally when another person is coming up. And it will automatically it will happen. And it happens. So this goes on and on and on. That's Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning that you should not think in this way. And a Vaishnava minstrel was singing downstairs. Sri Ramakrishna was pleased with his song and said that someone should give him a little money. A devotee went downstairs. The master asked, "How much did you give the singer?" When he said, when he was told that the devotee has given only 2 pies, then 2 pies actually, he said, "Just that much? This money is the fruit of his servitude. How much he had to flatter his master and suffer to earn it. I thought he would give it at least 4 annas." So the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, this is also a teaching. If you give substantial something, otherwise how those people will survive? They are going and giving. One person, he was visiting a holy place like Vrindavana, I think so. And when he came back, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was asking, "What happened to you? What are the things?" And he was telling, "I went over there, the holy people are there, and one person asked me one anna. In those days, that was sufficient. So I told, I will give you next day, but I left that place. So I saved my money." Sri Ramakrishna told, "Oh my God, only to save 4 anna, you told lies to that man?" No. What do you know what they do? They smoke and they by that way they. But what is that to you? You people are also enjoying so many things, and little money that he wanted that he likes to survive, and in exchange he is praying for you. He is thinking about God, and he is trying to realize God. Won't you help him a little? And moreover, why you have cheated him by telling like this? So the devotees, they don't understand by telling like this or saving little money. He is having so much of money, but still think, "Oh no, this money I should not give." That by that way, they are doing more harm to themselves, the spiritual life. Maybe they will have a lot of money in the mundane world in this life, but that true happiness they will never ever get. So that is the reason Sri Ramakrishna is also mentioning. When you are giving, open your heart, give something so that at least that man be happy. The younger Naren had promised to show Sri Ramakrishna the nature of electricity with an instrument. And even in those days, the people they were, nowadays all people are curious about the AI, artificial intelligence, what is happening, this, that. Sri Ramakrishna, in those days, he was curious to know how the electricity, there was no electricity at all, so how the electricity works. And this young boy, he was in the school or college. I think he was in the school. He learned how the electricity works. He told that Sri Ramakrishna was eager to learn it, to see it, how it happens. This is the uniqueness of Sri Ramakrishna. In those days, he used to go to visit in the museums, how the things are there, what is happening over there, how people learn from there. This is the uniqueness. He was not, "Oh no, we are holy people, we don't go over there, so we won't learn." He never said that. Javat bachi tavat sekhi. As long as we survive, we must learn. There are so many things to learn. Naturally, you should go, you should see, you should learn. A basic knowledge will come. Nobody is asking you that you should not go meditate, you are a holy man, why you are visiting the Jew. No, nobody will say that. But you should have that type of attitude. Sri Ramakrishna visited Calcutta Jew and he saw all those animals out there living. And then he visited, in those days it was a really very special place, the museum, the Calcutta Museum. It is really famous. He went over there, he saw and in his own way, he saw the human skeleton. And he said, look at it, the human skeleton. And this is actually human. And this is our body. On this structure, some flesh and the other things are there. And we love this so much. And only for these we are cheating others, killing others. Why? So he is taking that again to the spiritual knowledge, but he used to go and see. And it is really very interesting when that young man, he wanted to show him how the electricity works. It was about 2 o'clock. Sri Ramakrishna and the devotees were sitting in the room. Otul brought with him a friend who was a munsif. And then Bakchi, the famous painter, arrived. He presented the master with several paintings. Sri Ramakrishna examined the pictures with great delight. What picture we find from there, the Sri Ramakrishna had interest in everything. One painter, he also came to show his painting and gave some as a gift to the Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna observing those and appreciating. And also the munsif came. Munsif means it is the Indian, the legal system. It is the judge, of course, the civil judge, at the very lower rank. The first it became that start with the munsif. There is some problem, so the first is the munsif. Munsif court, you have to go. His judgment, then you can go to a higher court like that. This is the munsif also came. And Bakchi had long hair like a woman. Sri Ramakrishna said, many days ago, a sannyasi came to Dakshinesha who had hair 9 cubits long. He used to chant the name of Radha. He was genuine. Last he is commenting, he was genuine. Then many of the people, they behave like that, but they are not genuine. He was genuine. A few minutes later, Narendra began to sing. The songs were full of the spirit of renunciation. As the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna discussed about the renunciation, that the young Narendra, who became Vivekananda afterwards, he understood it, felt it. Now he is singing full of renunciation. Jabe ki he dino amar bifale chaliye. O Lord, must all my days pass by so utterly in vain? So that is the way one should pray. Day after day we are here, but we are not thinking that one day is minus from my life. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, when he is discussing, and then Narendranath, who will be Vivekananda, the world teacher, he is now singing in that way. Next day, we will start from here. Thank you. Is there any question?
YouTube user SM is asking, what is meant by the grace of God? Part 1. Part 2. Is it intellect or ability to concentrate and focus the mind, or help when in distress, or all of these? Or is it something different? Part 3. Is it desire when we ask for God's grace?
Part 3, it is not. So when you are praying for the God's grace, it is not a desire, it is a prayer. So first thing. Second, and the second question, as you said, of course, everything God can give. But the first question that can you please repeat the first line?
What is the grace of God?
Grace of God. You know, the grace of God, in one place, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, in Bhagavad Gita, he said, Buddhi yogam dadam maham. Whom I love, I help them by giving the proper thought, proper idea. So that whatever we decide, that is very, very important. If the God helps us, bless us, then we really think positively and we really take decision which is good for us, better for us. That is the grace of God. Some people, even if the guru and his father, mother, teacher guiding, they won't listen to them. They won't understand them. They will do in their own way and then afterwards they will suffer. And you know, when a person suffers, he is not alone suffering. He is creating that suffering in the society also. Suppose one person is not successful, and naturally it is a liability for the society, human society. So obviously one should be praying to God, and then the grace will come, help will come, blessings will come in the form of His guidance. He will give you the proper thought and you will know what I should do and what I should not do. That is the way God helps us. Thank you.
Next question is by YouTube user Vamdeva. Are all things that happen to us a product of karma?
That's true. That's true. We Hindu, we believe in that way. All things that is coming to us is a product of karma. There's sometimes some people doing nothing, getting so many things. So obviously we think why this is. They did the good karma in the past. So this time they got the opportunity to enjoy. But if they are not properly utilizing that, then obviously it will go against them and the coming life they will suffer. It goes in that way. Thank you.
Abhishek Banerjee is asking for a book recommendation. Which is the best book to read Sri Sri Ma's teachings?
Mother's teaching, so there are many books are there. If you are a Bengali, you can read Bengali. Then you can read the Ma Sharadamani Devi's life written by Swami Gambirananda ji. Sri Ma Sharada by Swami Gambirananda, published by the Bengali publisher of Ramakrishna Mission. It's called Udbodhan in Calcutta. So that will be a wonderful book, and there you will find lot of advices the mother has given. You will really, really like that book.
Last question for today by Shrima Biswas. What is good karma?
When you are helping others, praying for others, think about others, that is the good karma. And you know, we perform karma through three different ways. First, physically, then mentally through thought, and third, by words. So we think the karma means only physical. No. Whatever the mentally we are thinking, that is also karma. So one should be careful about that. Never ever hurt a person by using a slang or harsh words. Second, mentally also try to be always positive and prayerful about others. And the thought should be always positive, not negative. And obviously, physically, we should not do any harm to anyone. That is a good karma. Thank you very much. It's a good question, Shima. Thank you. So let us conclude with this. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai ईशावतारं परमेशमिड्यं तं रामकृष्णं शिरसा नमामः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्। श्रीरामकृष्ण अर्पणमस्तु।